So welcome to Declutter Me, a podcast about organizing and decluttering your life. This is episode 11. As always, I'm with your host, Shelina. Hello there.
Hi Chirag, how are you doing?
I'm doing very good. How are you doing this week?
All good. Getting ready for the holidays.
Getting ready for the holidays? Is that what we're going to talk about today?
Yeah, we're going to talk about holidays because it's that time of the year when a lot of us are going on holiday, and yeah, we just need to get out of the country to go somewhere nice and sunny, somewhere else, or maybe somewhere cold. So I'm going to give some tips on how to pack in preparation for your trip, and then we can talk another day about packing for hand luggage. We can make it a whole thing about traveling, but today it's just about packing your suitcase.
That sounds good. So where do we begin?
So I always say start with your clothes. So you know in advance, like a few weeks before, some people a few months in advance, that they're going to be going on holiday. So 1 week in advance, start taking out the clothes and accessories and items that you will need for your holiday. So if you're going to a colder country, you know, start taking out the jumpers, the jackets. You know, if it's Europe in the summer, you'll need different levels of jackets because it becomes cold and then hot. You know, your swimwear, your trousers, your jeans, your tops, your dresses, shoes. Put them all in a corner or in the spare bedroom, you know, and start making a pile. And then what you will do during that time is start culling. So you'll go back into the room and see the stuff and go, actually, that's too much stuff, or I don't need that, or I'll wear something else. Or even I will buy clothes when I get there. So I don't need to take everything with me, unless of course you're going on a mountain trek, then you need every single item that you buy. But for, you know, when you go on holiday, you know, especially to Europe and America and stuff, you know that you're going to go shopping. So when I go, I usually take much less than I had originally planned. So having a week in advance and taking out the clothes, you can start seeing and going, actually, that's a ridiculous amount of clothes. Let's take half of that out. So I have space in my suitcase for the new stuff I'm going to buy. So that's my suggestion number 1. So start early. And then with, if you are going to a cold country, like I said, you know, you don't need to take 10 jumpers. Take 1 or 2, like a thick one and a light one, because you could buy more there, you know, to wear while you're on holiday. And it just takes up too much room in your suitcase anyway. So try and be clever about how much you take with you and what things you can use multiple times and in multiple ways as well. Another trick I found is using packing cubes. So a packing cube is a plastic cloth bag with a mesh on top and a zipper. And you can sometimes get them in single or double zips. And they're cubes. They look like cubes. You can get them online from one, you know, the Amazons and the Souk.com shops. Groupon, yeah, they have offers all the time. I've bought mine from Muji just because I bought them when I was in England many, many years ago, and I've just kept on buying the same styles. But I have had friends buy from Groupon the sets, which is great. And they're different sizes. So you have small, medium, large. You can put, you know, different types of clothes in them. So, you know, 1 packing cubes for underwear, one's for your trousers, one's for tops, dresses, accessories, blah, blah, blah. So you separate everything. So it's easy to find everything when you're traveling, especially when you're going to multiple countries. And also it keeps everything in a space so it doesn't get creased up as much. And when you put the clothes into those packing cubes, roll them so it doesn't crease as well. So that saves you having to carry an iron with you.
And they come in different colors too, so you can, if you have 2 sets, you know, like essentials and non-essentials, and you can kind of color code your way through things as well.
Exactly. Right? And for the families as well. So like, you know, your kids, you know, your different kids have different colors and stuff like that.
And you don't mix stuff in the bag as well. It's easy. Like you take out the packing cube and hand it off and like, okay, this is your stuff, like go away.
Use that cube and fill it up and pack it yourself. So yeah, so that's great. And so packing cubes are amazing, and it's so much more useful. And also when your stuff gets rifled through, if you ever have that at the airport, they don't mess it up as much as they would if, you know, it's all loose. Because I always find that you've packed it so brilliantly, and then my suitcase has been opened and they've just made a mess, and it infuriates me. This is a great way to stop that as well. Another thing is for your jewelry. You can get bags. You can either use Ziploc bags, or you can get jewelry bags from places like Accessorize, or even from online stores, or from Muji. And you know, you put all your jewelry in there so it doesn't get caught and it doesn't get lost. It's all in one place. So that's a good thing to do. When you are packing, and a lot of people don't think about this logically, when you pack, put the things that you're going to use immediately when you get there on top. So if you're going on a flight and you're going to arrive at night at your destination, you want your PJs at the top. You want your underwear on top. Your toiletries, like your toothpaste and toothbrush, have that on top. So, you might have really bad jet lag. You don't want to be going through your suitcase late at night, half awake, trying to find items. So put those at the top. And, if you're going somewhere like an island like Mauritius, put the swimming costume on top because you're going to land and straight away going in the sea. So, think logically about where your destination is and what you want. And people don't think about that. Then they put it away right at the bottom and then so put that on or make it a special packing cube for when I arrive packing cube.
Especially you're most of us anyway, but you go on a longish journey, you're tired when you land and stuff. It doesn't matter what time of the day you actually get there. You're tired, or you're and then the last thing you want to do is now rummage through your bag to find something that would have taken 2 seconds if it was
exactly.
on top, right? So.
And obviously, it's always going to be the rule. You have to find everything in 5 seconds, even in your suitcase. So, we use that logic, that rule of mine has to be used everywhere in your life. So the same with the suitcase. So obviously, put your toothpaste and toothbrush at the top. And don't forget to put that in the suitcase because people do forget. So that's a major one. So
what about limiting things? It's taken me a lot of years to correct myself from doing instinctively is to carry the extra pair of things. Because you're always have this, I don't know if it's anxiety or what, but you kind of well, I need 2 pairs of shoes because I need a formal wear and I need something casual for my day to day or whatever. But then you're well, but what if, okay, I'm going to throw in at least 2 more pairs of for 2 different occasions that I used to do that. Yeah. After reaching and realizing wow, I did not take that out of the bag, let alone use it. I didn't even bother taking it out of the bag.
Yeah.
And then and then now I call very, very aggressively before I pack. Be you know what? I am not going to use this. So let it stay home.
And it's true for everybody. I mean, with women, we take lots of shoes, we take handbags, and then you need different shoes for different colors to go with different outfits. I'm quite good that my clothing palette is primary colors, lots of blues and blacks. So obviously my shoes are going to be in the same colors. So, and with the bags, I take one fancy bag and then I have the travel bag that I travel around everywhere, and that's it. So yeah, you have to be savvy, and you're going to buy more when you go abroad. There's always going to be something that you see and go, wow, I want that pair of shoes or bag or accessories and stuff. And with jewelry, I take 1 pair of earrings and that's it, and then maybe 1 necklace. I try and reduce as much as possible. So yeah, it is clever to do that. And as I said, the first rule, advice was to take everything out and have it ready, because you will review it before you put it in the suitcase. Another big tip I find, and I use this all the time, I have a pashmina and I take it in my hand luggage. And it's a big one, which I don't like using the airline blankets. I like having this. I've got 2 colors, and one of them will be with me, and that is then also in my handbag while I'm traveling around. Right. Because you need it for so many things. If you're wearing short items and then you go to a religious place, you have to cover up. It gets too hot, you can put the shawl on your head to cover your head from the sun. It suddenly gets cold because of the aircon. You've got the shawl. So the shawl is the best thing to pack, and it's the most versatile thing to have in your travel bag. So I always suggest doing that. Toiletries, that's another big thing. Get a toiletries bag. Get a nice big one, because these small ones, you then have to carry lots of toiletry bags. If you have one with different compartments, that's better. You don't want to carry too many bags and too many accessories. And if you can limit the sizes of the toiletries, do that. So if you go to chemists like the Boots or to Sephora, you can get little empty bottles and you can fill your shampoo and conditioner in there. If you're going to certain hotels that are quite posh and they have that already, then don't take it with you, because you always get that from there. I always take conditioner because I always find hotel conditioner is terrible. Right. So I have to take a big bottle for myself. But so there's different things when you travel. But try and take as little as possible, or decant into the smaller sizes, or buy the travel size products.
You get them most of the stores now. I mean, even things for me, even mouthwash and toothpaste and stuff, you get these miniature sizes, and then they're stacked away for traveling. And so, I mean, they don't go bad. I have a toilet bag or whatever, a little pouch. Before I travel, I go grab the bag. It already has the toothpaste in it. It already has probably my small toothbrush in it that I have sealed so that it doesn't get dusty. A small mouthwash and a couple of things that are already in there, and then it's just you know.
And they last for actually a long time. Like, it's really crazy how many trips I used to take, and the toothpaste and that deodorant, the small deodorant, would last for loads of trips. It's amazing. Another thing that I do, I have a box called Travel at home, which contains my favorite noise cancelling headphones, which are my life. I have that ready. I have an extra purse for currency, gloves, hat, things like that you're going to use, umbrella. That's all in this box. So when I'm going away on holiday, I take the box out, I look at it and take out everything I need. So it's got the cables for traveling, it's got the travel iron, the jewelry pouches, and the packing cubes are all in this box. So I literally take out what I need for the trip, and then when I come back, I can put it back into that box. And I create that travel box for every client I have, because that's something you can use all the time. And for some who travel a lot to certain countries, or to, like, say, to Europe, you've got your euros, that's all in a pouch ready to just pick up. So they know that's the pouch for dollars, that's pouch for euros, pouch for pounds. So wherever they travel a lot and they have lots of coins and notes, they can just pick that up and use that. And so another advice I've had, and this was from my friend when we went around Scandinavia a few years back, it was a genius idea. She brought vacuum packs with her. So, and it was those compression bags. So you don't need a vacuum, to suck out the air. You get compression bags, and you put your dirty laundry in it. So you put your dirty laundry in these compression bags, squeeze out the air, and then you've got much less stuff when you're going back home. And it's all in a bag ready to just put into the washing machine once you get home. It was a genius idea, and I was like, that you have to use everywhere. And you can get these compression bags in a lot of shops or in online stores as well. So they're great, but they're the ones you have to check to make sure it's the one which you just squeeze out yourself and not using a vacuum cleaner. And my final tip is a water bottle. So I carry, and it sounds bizarre, but it's brilliant now, especially in Europe. So I got a BPA water bottle. You keep it empty when you go for immigration. As soon as you get through past immigration, there are now water stations in a lot of airports. In the UK, it's like a vending machine, but it's free water, and you just fill your bottle up. So you don't have to then spend ridiculous amounts of money in the duty free to buy a new bottle of water. You can just fill up yours, and then you can use that bottle everywhere when you're traveling as well. In Europe and Scandinavia, it was great. You could go to coffee shops, buy coffee, and they'd have jugs of water for you to fill up. So we didn't buy bottles of water. We were just filling up this one bottle. So that is a brilliant idea, and it's becoming a bigger and bigger thing globally now to do that and to save on buying plastic bottles. So I'd recommend that as well. So that's my big tips. We'll talk about hand luggage another time so that people know what to put into their hand luggage as well.
Sounds good. As always, if you can share your contact details so people can reach out to you.
So they can find me on Declutter Me, which is DECLUTTRME.com. And if you do need help to pack your suitcase and you don't know what to do, or even to unpack your suitcase, because I've done that before, let me know and I'll be happy to help.
You can find more information about the show notes and everything else by visiting declutterme.com/podcast. You can also subscribe to this show in any podcast player of your choice. And so until next week.
Bye.
Yeah, we've never done a bye before, by the way.